Hey everyone, it's Jason, and welcome to some more Marvel Champions Hero Packs. This is for the Winter Soldier, Bucky Barnes. So yeah, we're getting some cool stuff in here. So this is part of the S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign. So we had Nick Fury and Maria Hill to begin with. But I went some other like S.H.I.E.L.D. adjacent characters, like we've had Vulcan, who teams up with Winter Soldier in the new movies. So that's where they kind of came out. But we also had Silk in there. Yes, we're getting some very interesting characters. So there's this poster. So we just have a little bit of work to go over here. So we have feature keyword piercing, attach to the piercing keyword, discard any tough status card from the target before attacking. Ranged, ignores a retaliate keyword. Steady, a character to steady can have one additional stunned card and one additional confused card. It's not removed until after you have both. Team up. So we'll go over that more when we get there. So we have a couple of team up cards in there are cool. Victory X card with the victory keywords, placing your defeated pile in the instead of its owner's discard pile, so removes it from the game. And villainous keyword, when a minion with villainous activates, it gets a face down boost card. Top of the encounter deck, when resolve that minion's activation, turn the boost card face up, resolve any boost abilities, and apply its effect, and then discard it. And Bucky, Winter Soldier, is of course going to have the aggression, which definitely makes sense for him. So let's hop in and see what our Russian mind-controlled friend does for us. So we have 2 thwart, 2 attack, 2 defense, so right down the middle. Shield and Soldier, he has 5 hand size, 11 hit points. Lethal Protector, response. After you attack and defeat an enemy, remove 2 threat from his steam. So that's really fun. This is kind of what his idea is going to be, is he's going to want to be getting rid of threats rather than just, worrying about, but he's going to gain bonuses for getting rid of threats, is the idea. So it's not just him attacking willy-nilly here or there. He wants to target a guy until they're done, instead of maybe spreading the damage out. The Red Room trained me to do terrible things. I use those skills to safeguard others now. Alright, then if we flip to his other side, there we have him with his cat. I can't remember his cat's name. I want to say it starts with an A, like Aloha. Oh, I might be wrong though. So he has 3 recovery. Shield and Soldier, so he keeps both of his keywords. Cybernetically enhanced. Action. Spend 1 resource of any type, search your deck, and discard pile for Cybernetic Arm and put it into play shuffle. Not bad for a 99-year-old veteran. And his hand size goes up to 6. Did it stay at 6? Yeah, it went up to 6. So he just go find a cybernetic arm whenever he needs it. So what does his arm do for him that he needs to find it so often? 1 cost upgrade, cybernetic arm, item and tech. Resource, exhaust cybernetic arm, generate a wild resource for an attack event. That event gains an additional damage. This is definitely why he wants to keep this on him as much as possible. Because, not only does he get a resource to play his attacks cheaper, they also do more damage. And then, if you're using his regular side here, and anytime he defeats an enemy, he just do 2 threats. So doing more damage to take guys out quicker, does more, gets rid of threat as well. But there's a skill better before the arm. With it, he's downright scary. His signature ally is, of course, Black Widow and Natasha Romanoff. 2 thwart and 2 attack. Shield and Spy. Response. After you play Black Widow from your hand, return an attack event from your discard pile to your hand. So basically, she's going to come out and get your attacks back. Very cool. So now if there's a way to bounce her back, that'd be very helpful. We have 2 copies of Arm Block. 1 cost event, attack, and defense. Hero Interrupt. When the enemy attacks, deal 3 damage to it. If you exhaust Cybernetic Arm to pay for this event, prevent all damage from the enemy's attack. So that's pretty cool, right? It's not going to help him getting up his extra attack, but if you saved it for the defense, also now you can prevent all damage. And you do 3 damage to them. Actually says it's going to do an extra damage to them as well, because it's going to do that. So it's going to do 4 damage. That's pretty cool. We have 3 copies of Metal Punch. This is when he's part of the Thunderbolts. 3 cost attack. Hero action deals 7 damage to an enemy. If you exhausted cybernetic arm to pay for this event, the attack gains overkill. So you can do extra damage from the minion to the villain. Yeah, I like this. He basically just wants to find a target and destroy them. And then keeping that cybernetic arm out to keep reusing it is going to be super helpful. 2 copies of Electrical Discharge. Attack. Hero action. Deal 4 damage to an enemy. You pay for this event using an energy resource. Stun that enemy. As they could be just as shocked if you showed them your high school photo. Ha. That's funny. So this one gets you a little bit better thing, like, does 4 damage, but if you can't defeat them, you can at least stun them. So that's always helpful as well. He's got 1 location. The safe house number 30. Location shield. Alter ego action. Exhaust safe house number 30. Search the encounter deck for a minion and put it into play, engage with you. Shuffle, then draw a card. You're never guessing who moved in next door. So this is very helpful for his ability, right? Find a weak minion you can take out super quickly. Or if you have your 7 cost one, or if you have a bunch of other boosts on you, you can do more damage. Pick a higher threat that you can just pull out and you know you can take out because you have the card sitting there ready to go. So it's very helpful. We have 2 copies of Silent Infiltration, 2 cost upgrade, which is a preparation, which Black Widow has a lot of, so kind of a little crossover there. Hero response. After you attack and defeat an enemy, discard this card, ready your hero, and confuse the enemy. They'll never know what hit them. So this is cool. So, right, you have this card on you, defeat an enemy, discard it, ready your hero, and confuse another enemy. And also, since you got rid of someone, you get your 2 Steam, your sports. We have 1 copy of the Winter Armor, 2 cost upgrade. You get 3 hit points and gain steady. So you can take more confuser stuns. The man may be bulletproof, but the rest of me... The arm may be bulletproof, but the rest of me is still flesh and blood. He's got 1 copy of the Winter Mask. Item and tech, you gain the Spy trait. Hero response. After you attack and defeat an enemy, exhaust Winter Mask to draw a card. And then his last signature card, deck card is Winter Rifle. A weapon restricted. Hero Interrupt. When the Winter Soldier makes a basic attack, exhaust Winter Rifle. Winter Soldier gets +2 attack plus attack and gains piercing and range. So this will definitely help him take out more guys. Doesn't, extra 2 attack is not bad at all. Plus with the arm, he does an extra point of damage as well. He used that to help pay for this because after being an attack card. But still, definitely great. So his idea, he just wants to try and focus on taking out guys. So let's see what he can do with his aggression deck. So he's going to get Captain America, Steve Rogers. I think Captain America now has like three different colored cards. I think he'll probably be the first character that's in every single color. Generally he's in leadership, and I think he's in basic, so he just needs a protection and justice card, and then he'll be the 1 character that could potentially be in every color. Shield, Soldier, and Toughness. Response. After Captain America enters play, ready a Shield character. On your feet, Soldier. So this could definitely work in a lot of different decks. Just basically very inspiring. Almost surprised it's not a leadership card, but... our second ally is Deathlock, Henry Hayes. Now, there's been several different Deathlocks, so we can always get more of them. Cyborg and S.H.I.E.L.D. response. After Deathlock enters play, search your deck and discard pile for a copy of S.H.I.E.L.D. sidearm and attach it to him. Is that one in here? Yeah, so it's just one of his. It's not linked to this card, but it is in this deck. I'm going to just grab that right away. We'll look at that. And attach it to him. My body is infused with high-tech, mind-controlled weapons. If you don't include the S.H.I.E.L.D. sidearm in your deck, he's not going to really be as useful. You have 3 copies of it, so you don't have to always include 3, because just include 1 with him. Which is a 1-cost upgrade, S.H.I.E.L.D. sidearm weapon attached to a S.H.I.E.L.D. character, limit once per character, uses 3 ammo counters. Interrupt. When the attached character makes a basic attack, exhaust S.H.I.E.L.D. sidearm, remove 1 ammo counter from it, deal 1 damage to an enemy. Yeah, so making an attack, and all of a sudden now you get a get 1 free extra damage off on the character, so he can kind of ping the guys ahead of time. You might even take them out before you actually fight them. So that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, jumps onto him, and his attack, he has 1 constant. He wants to attack, so he has 1 consequential. So you can do it up to 3 times. So that's pretty fun. That's the last card in the aggression deck, so that's special. We have 3 copies of Firepower. An attack, hero action exhausts up to 3 weapon upgrades you control. For each upgrade exhausted this way, choose an enemy deal 3 damage to it. This attack gains ranged. Choose an enemy deal 3 damage for each upgrade. So if you have a bunch of his upgrades on him, his rifle, his mask, his arm, his cybernetic arm, he had his rifle, his winter mask, his armor, silent preparation. We had 2 of those. Plus, he had that shield sidearm. A lot of different. Oh, that's be a weapon upgrade. My bad. So yeah, it's just his gun and the sidearms. Sorry, I didn't see the word weapon in there. But still, you can have up to 3 damage each. But you can exhaust this to generate a free resource for an attack that doesn't have additional things. So you basically exhaust his arm to make this free, and then you can exhaust up to 3 of them, potentially go up to 9 damage, plus an additional, so up to 10 damage. It'd be pretty cool. We have 3 copies of 1 by 1. Attack, hero action, deal 2 damage to an enemy. If this attack defeats that enemy, deal 2 damage to an enemy. Loads of tricks up the sleeves, ladies and gentlemen. So the card's artwork doesn't really match Winter Soldier, but the effect really does. Again, cybernetic arm can let it do 3. Now, the event does 1 additional damage, so I wonder if they do 3 for each then. But yeah, even 3 and then 2 is not bad. We have 3 copies of Spoiling for a Fight. Hero action. Discard cards from the top of your encounter deck until you discard a minion. Put that minion into play, engage with you, ready to your hero. So this definitely works very well. It's like matches what the Falcon deck does, which lets you look at the encounters and mess with this. But it works well with Winter Soldier because he wants to be able to take out specific guys. It will also work probably great with Thor. He loves fighting minions. Speaking of Thor, we have Lady Thor. 3 copies of Aggressive Stance. Preparation. Max 1 per player. Hero response. After you engage with a minion, discard this card. Search your deck for an attack event and add it to your hand. So yeah, force yourself to have to deal with a minion or pick one, and then now you gotta find an attack you can use to specifically defeat that one. We have 1 copy of the Bambino, which is Nick Fury's big-ass gun there. Tech and weapon. Attached to a S.H.I.E.L.D. character list. Attached to an identity card gains restricted. Use 3 ammo counters. Interesting. So if it's actually an identity as opposed to an ally, it's restricted. But if it's actually to an ally, you could probably add multiple. We only got 1 copy though, so it's not a big deal. Interrupt when the attached character makes a basic attack. Move 1 ammo counter from your attack, does 3 additional damage, and gains overkill. It's nice, so you do an extra attack. Really cool. And then we have 1 copy of Man on the Wall. This is a fun one. So title, play only if your identity has a soldier trait. Hero action. Exhaust Man on the Wall. Reduce the cost of your next card you play by space by 1 for each minion engaged with you. So this is in the comic book lore, this is a title that Nick Fury had that he passed on to Bucky, which is basically, he is the protector. He sits up and watches over everybody and tries to protect the world from the threats that are unseen. So he's engaging in enemies before they get in and have to deal with the rest of the characters. Kind of again works with this idea. Bucky's trying to solo take out single specific guys to get rid of them, to stop their plans ahead of time. And then he's also like trying to engage guys to pull him off his team. So very cool. Alright, then we have our basic cards. So we're going to get a Nick Fury Sr. in here. the one that passed on that role. Ally 4 cost shield and soldier. Force response. After Nick Fury Sr. enters play, choose one. Remove 3 threat counters from a scheme. Draw 2 cards, or give a shield character a tough status card. At the end of the round, if Nick Fury is still in play, discard him. So I think the old Nick Fury did the same thing too. It's just a regular Nick Fury from the base stuff. Did not do the exact same stuff, but he did some cool stuff, and at the end of the round, he goes away. This is a big one-shot character. And then we have our resources. We have energy, genius, and strength. And then we have some team-up cards. So our first one is Super Soldier. So the way team-up cards work is team-up Captain America and Winter Soldier, max 1 per deck. So for these cards to even be in your deck, your identity has to be one of those 2 characters. You have to be playing as Captain America or Winter Soldier to even include this in your deck. Then to play it, both of those characters have to be on the field. Now, if I'm playing Winter Soldier and player 2 is playing Captain America as their main characters, this card's easy to get out. Not a problem. If I am just playing Winter Soldier, I have the Captain America ally I could use. I could pull them out and that would work. Or one of my teammates could also pull the Captain America ally. So as long as your main character is one of those 2 and the other character is either an ally or main character somewhere else on the table, I'm going to probably specify they have to be on the hero side because we have the Civil War set coming out, so you can actually fight against Captain America. So I don't think it would include that, obviously. But what these team-up cards are really good at doing is they kind of combine both things each character do, and they're really powerful, but they're kind of at the hindrance if you have to have both players out. So again, if you're both players' main identities, these are really great cards to throw in your deck. Each player plays one of them, and then that way you get a really cool card that you can play anytime you get it. If you're playing without the other character, you have to hope for someone else to play an ally. You get the ally. They become a little bit harder to get out, but they're still pretty dang cool. So here we have Hero Action. Deal 6 damage to an enemy. Give Captain America and Winter Soldier each a tough status card. So it makes them harder to take out, and we do a bunch of damage. Plus, Winter Soldier's cybernetic arm could also, it's an attack, make this 1 cheaper, basically, and up that damage by 1. So that's pretty fun. Now, there's only 1 card listed in the main part of the deck. But if we go into the extra cards we get at the end of the deck, we do get a second copy. So you can have 1 for the Winter Soldier. You can put 1 in your Captain America deck. And the same thing, we have a second copy of this one. So we have 1 copy of each of those, so I'm going to set those off to the side. Is we have Winter, Widow, Soldier, Spies. This is a team up with Black Widow and Winter Soldier. I love having more team ups. I almost kind of wish they'd release just a team up pack with like mixing and matching like Captain America and Iron Man. You know, different Spider-Mans together, like different X-Men together. It'd be really cool, like just a pack of team ups you could add in all these different characters. So put a preparation upgrade from your discard pile into play, deal 4 damage to an enemy. So the preparation cards are really Black Widow stuff, and then 4 damage to an enemy is kind of a good thing for Winter Soldier. But also keep in mind though, it's like if you're playing as with your team up is with an ally versus a full player character, it's not going to be as beneficial all the time because having a preparation card works really well if you're a if you're doing the Winter Soldier stuff. So yeah, just if we look at he does have his preparation with the aggressive stance. Otherwise, I think his only other standard preparation card was Silent Infiltration. So he only has 5 preparation cards. So it can definitely work, but like, again, his thing, he wants to deal the 4 damage, but the Black Widow player could gain really good, because she uses lots of preparation in her deck. Very cool. 2 extra team-ups. Then we have our obligation, Red Room Programming. It shows both of them. Give you the Bucky Barnes player. You may flip Alter Ego. Choose. Exhaust Bucky Barnes, remove this card from the game, or discard the highest printed cost card from your hand and take indirect damage equal to the cost. Discard this obligation. So, I've said in lots of the videos, I kind of don't like the ones where it's flip to the Alter Ego. it's usually flip the alter ego to like discard this card, or it's exhaust your character and basically waste your turn to remove this from the game. Because it's kind of like, can there be? It's simple enough. You can either lose your entire turn or not be able to attack. Is basically what the idea is. This is at least a little bit different on it because it's like, yep, it's still the exhaust, lose your entire turn to get rid of this forever and not have to deal with it, or discard one card and take a damage. I think it was better than just flipping the alter ego, because even if after alter ego you can still be like, oh, I can still use their ability, I could do something else, I have alter ego cards I could play. Again, it says you may flip your alter ego form if you choose. So you could flip it to that side to exhaust your Bucky Barnes. So it does put you on the other side. Or you could have it there, take your damage, and then you can still do your recovery. So there are ways to come back from it. But it's a little bit different than that standard one. So it's not too bad. Alright, then our nemesis is Crossbones, which is an elite Hydra with quick strike, 2 steam, 2 attack. Force response. After Crossbone attacks and defeats an ally, place 2 threats on the main team. I love this is the exact opposite of what Bucky does, except it's not just a minion, it's an ally. The Hydra hit squad. Crossbone commands his own team of hand-picked Hydra goons. Each Hydra minion gets 1 attack and 2 hit points when defeated. The player defeated this team searches the encounter deck, discard pile for a Hydra minion, and reveals it. And there's a lot of little mini Hydra encounters you could have this fighting against. You could make this a lot harder. The high-tech armament. Plus 1 attack. Attack weapons. Attack crossbones. Force response. After you attach high-tech armament to an enemy, that enemy activates against you. Hero action. Exhaust the character you control to discard this card. And then we have 2 brand new Hydra mercenaries who have no steam but 1 attack. Regardless, means engage with you cannot attack the villain. What is Hydra doing here? It's another thing I think would be really fun to do with these. Is these nemesis are supposed to be kind of like counteracting or opposite of the effects of the main hero that there are the nemesis against. I think it'd be even fun. You could just include these as extra little encounters in the other decks. So if you didn't want to just play as Austin, he could pop out as just a thing you have to fight against anybody, which would be pretty crazy. Especially, again, there's a lot of Hydra different cards out there. So there's our pre-built decks. This just shows our deck listing. Alright, then we have our new encounter. So we have Whiteout encounter with Blizzard. So this is part of the S.H.I.E.L.D. campaign thing. You gotta fight the Thunderbolts. So in there they have like 3 or 4 different Thunderbolts you have to fight against. You can rotate in and out to fight different ones. And then each hero pack's been coming with an extra one, so you have more options to flip in. They have a lot of attack, or a lot of health, so they play like almost a regular full villain, versus like, you got Crossbones had 5 health. So we have Blizzard here. Why can't I think of his name? Something Gills, I believe. I can't remember. 1 steam, 2 attack. So Elite, Thunderbolt, Villainous, and Victory 1. Force response. After Blizzard attacks a character, search the encounter deck and discard pile for an encasing ice, attach it to that character, shuffle. Otherwise, stun the attacked character. So 2 copies of encasing ice. Has an ice trait, identity, attach your identity. Attach the character cannot attack enemies other than this card. When any player can attack this card, as if it were a minion. There is 3 or more damage here. Remove all but 3 damage here attached to it. Move all damage, but move all but 3 damage here to the attached card. Oh, to the attached character and discard it. Oh, okay. If there are 3 or more damage here, so after you've done 3 damage, just 3 damage then goes on to that person. That's cool. So it freezes them, so they can't do any. They can only attack this card. But then once it's destroyed, they take that 3 damage onto themselves. That's fun. Slippery conditions, side steam. Watch your step. Force response after an ally enters play, exhaust it, and he has an extra counter draw. And then his last two are the Whiteout cards. It says, when revealed, find Blizzard and reveal him if he's already in play. Engages you. Blizzard activates against you if no enemy is activated, gains Surge. Boost, you are stunned. If you're already stunned, take 1 damage. Very cool. Very fun little minions you get to fight against with all the Thunderbolts. Alright, then we have some extra cards you get added on to the end. So we have White Widow, Yelena Belova. So we have the other Widow. Shield and Spy. Response. After resolve the ability of a preparation card you control, heal damage from White Widow equal to that card's printed resource cost. So again, this should work really well with Black Widow. She has lots of preparations, but even Bucky, if you change up what his aggression deck is to something else, you can make this pretty good with her. You use the protection. And then we had our other 2 copies we saw already of our team ups. So those went in there as well. And then we have 3 copies of S.H.I.E.L.D. Deputy, which is a title, and there's Elektra. That's pretty fun. Play only if your identity has a S.H.I.E.L.D. trait. Attached to a friendly character. Attached character gets 1 hit point and gains a S.H.I.E.L.D. trait. So this is cool. You can give other people the S.H.I.E.L.D. trait so they can equip other S.H.I.E.L.D. items, such as S.H.I.E.L.D. sidearm. So other people can now equip that. Or Captain America can now ready them because they're a S.H.I.E.L.D. character. I think the other one we had in the deck that worked with that would have been Nick Fury giving a S.H.I.E.L.D. status card. But definitely there's other cards that can do more S.H.I.E.L.D. stuff. Or yeah, his Ben being able to also work on S.H.I.E.L.D. characters. So this is a fun thing. I like these titles. And I like the title cards that let you give like different keywords to different players so that they can be you or different allies or other characters. Because you could give it to somebody else's full ally too. And then yeah, you can. It just opens up the deck building options or the play area a little bit wider. So that's our Winter Soldier. So yeah, he just wants to mainly focus on targeting one character at a time, taking them out. Gets them off the board, drawing their fire to take them out. And obviously, you can use his arm to keep that in play, to make his attacks cheaper and stronger, which make him really cool. So the last thing I wanted to show off that's not part of this deck, I repeat, this is not part of this deck. This is from the thwarting deck. So this is from thwarting. But it works with this card. So if you watch the unboxing, you've already seen this. It's Captain America title. It says play only if you have the Bucky Barnes or Sam Wilson player. Since this does not come in the Winter Soldier deck, you would have to buy Falcon to get this. But if you decided to play Winter Soldier as a leader, which would be really cool, you could do this. It says exhaust Captain America and attach or spend a physical resource to find Captain America's shield and add it to your hand. If it leaves play this way, deal 4 damage to an enemy. So if it's in your deck, you can find it and pull it out and have it ready to go. If it's in your discard pile, you can get it back. If it's on the table already, you can put it back in your hand and deal 4 damage to an enemy. This works really well with Winter Soldier's ability. It kind of turns him into Captain America. He can have the shield out. He can essentially throw it, deal 4 damage to a player or an enemy, put it back in his hand so he can replay it. But if he defeats that enemy, then he just gets his ability triggers, which is really cool. So this is a linked card. So this is linked to Captain America. So this does not start in your deck or count towards your total. You find it outside your deck. With a 1-cost upgrade, Captain America Shield. Your hero gains +1 defense and retaliate. So this gives you an extra defense while it's out. So basically you can have it down and have it be extra defense, or if you do get hit, you can do damage back to your opponent. And then you can use the other card to basically saying, like I say, throw it to pick it back up. Or if it gets defeated by some other way, someone knocks out of your hand, you can pick it back up that way. But yeah, you can deal the damage if you don't need the defense. Yeah, this again could help with Winter Soldier if he's trying to, like, you're playing a deck where you're trying to pull guys onto you. You could definitely use this for the extra defense or the retaliate while you're attacking. But again, that's in the Falcon deck. But that's really cool that we got copies of these. I think other little cards like that, again, with the titles and stuff, could be really cool. Different mantles and things like that. You can kind of use to transform some of these characters into different people. Again, it's not going to fully change their entire deck, but it gives them an extra option to make them feel a little bit more like those characters. So that's what we have for Winter Soldier. Hope you guys enjoy the Marvel Champions videos. Check out the rest of them. See you guys later. Bye.